Good day, global crypto enthusiast. This is 88 Fantastic coming to you Saturday, April 6th, 2019. All right, excuse me, before a little bit of cool weather, getting a bit of a hack, let's start off with our return on investment and our portfolio for the week. So last week we saw Bitcoin sitting at 4,092 with a 1.65% gain on the previous week. This week we are sitting at Bitcoin sitting at 5,000. Got to write this down. 5,038, if my pen would work. Ding, 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 which gives us a gain of 22.91% for the week, which is absolutely mental, no matter how you look at it. All right, so then we're going to go back to our portfolio. And last week we were sitting at $243, and this week we are sitting at, we'll just say 301. 301, and then we'll use our little calculator. So we started last Saturday at 243, and this week we sit at 301. We gained 23.8%. 23.8%. So we still gained 1 full percent over our Bitcoin. Just mean all that's really saying is our stacks are just simply too small still. But hey, I just gained 23% because I click on something that says I'm not a robot in my spare time. So let's go look at our portfolio and see what we had gained for the week. And there you can see the April 1st all the way through this week push. What do we got here? So this week, because the price, okay, so how it works again, if you're not sure, is when the price goes up, the reward you get is less because it carries more value. So when the price goes backwards, you get more Satoshis because the actual price is less. So this week, I made a lot of Bitcoin this week, but because the price jacked up, some of the stable coins that I'm in carried a lesser value. So we only made 10,000 Bitcoin Satoshis this week. And then we'll slide down to the rest of our stuff. Our Ethereum, we gained 61,500 Satoshis. With our Dash, we gained 42,000. With our Ethereum Classic, we gained 650,000. Digibyte, we gained 27 whole Digibyte. And with our Litecoin, we had an amazing week on Litecoin. We gained 205,000 Satoshis. So we've had a decent week of gains, but again, because the price went up so much this week, the rewards really went back. So this week was like you'd have to claim 4 times to equal the same amount you got in early January. So why? Because in early January, when I was telling you guys to start doing this, Dash was $60. Ethereum or Litecoin was $25 when I told everybody to start doing this and start watching because these prices are going to jack up. And here we are 3 months later. Dash has gone from 60 to 130. Litecoin went from 25 to 91. And people just don't listen. Share, sub, and spread the news because, like I said, who else is showing you stuff like this? Nobody. Every other YouTuber is showing you the same basic crap every day and every night. So what I wanted to show you guys on the faucet end of it was the free Bitcoin and with the daily logins because I started doing this with you guys 2 weeks ago. And as you can see, after 2 weeks, now I get a 14% increase on all of my claims, which is absolutely gigantic. And as always, the links are in my About section. Get signed up, giddy up, and get started. You're never going to make $1 by watching YouTube videos. So let's look at our actual market today before we get out of here. We talked about all of last week and the week before about money coming into the market. One thing I found very, not very surprising, but just absolutely shocking. So all the money in Bitcoin in the market came in on April the 1st, okay? Follow me on this. April the 1st. Go to every YouTuber you watch and every person you follow on Twitter that makes all these price predictions and talks about the market and go see what they all said from the 3rd week of March until the end of March. I guarantee you every one of those people was calling for a sub 3,000 Bitcoin, a $2,250 Bitcoin, and I'm literally the only one that's saying this is a mirror image of 2018 and we're going to get more money and we're going to keep getting more money until the end of May. So what happened for all of the month of March? We gained. We had stronger lines of support, and what happened? Just like I said, we're going to start getting money. And I'm telling people we're going to get money. Well, everybody you're watching and subscribing to, and all of your Twitter people that you're following is talking about the next crash and a sub 3,000 Bitcoin. How long do you listen to people that have been wrong for? Considering they've been wrong for 2.5 years, and you still watch and listen to these fucking pukes. It's sickening. I've gone onto a lot of YouTube channels in the last 10 days just to even try and start a fight with some of these people, but it tells you they don't even care about any of their comments. They're there for more views because they get more ads. The more of everything, the more money they make for feeding you bullshit. So now you're watching people and making these people money that have no fucking idea what they're talking about. But you'll keep watching them, right? Of course you will. So let's see what's happening in the last 7 days. Don't really care about the last hour because, like I said, our real line of support right now is the 167, 168 billion mark. I don't put the number onto the individual coin because until we have a stable market and we're sitting in the trillions, not 900 billion at an all-time high, because even a few billion still kicks the shit out of a price. So stability in the cryptocurrency market will occur at the 4 trillion mark. And for me, I've said the 4 trillion mark, that's Christmas of 2020. Christmas 2020, this is gonna increase by 20. Plain and simple. People don't want to listen though, because you still think Bitcoin's gonna drop down to $1,300. You can build up on your stacks again, you fucking dummies. If Bitcoin drops down to $2,000, ask yourself this: who's gonna sell it? J.P. Morgan, CME, all these places, all these banks that are starting to, you think a bank's going to sell something that just lost a couple of hundred points? Fucking stupid people. We're running into the same situation we did at the end of 17 and early 18, where all of those dummies are now broken out, and all of the new dummies have come in, and they keep watching the same fucking people over and over, and listening to the Novigrads, and listening to the Tom Lees, and all of these idiots that have never been right. And you know why they're not right? Because they got in when EOS was a penny. They got in with Ethereum when it was a penny. Not like you and everybody else that bought in Ethereum at $800 and EOS at $18, and you're getting your asses kicked. So if you're not going to dummy up, I'm going to sit here and laugh at you for the next 5 years and tell you how fucking stupid you are. Because that's my only job right now, is to tell people how fucking stupid they are for listening to the same people over and over when those people have never been right. It's like Tone Vase the other day. He's on Ivan, and they're talking about, it's like, why are you giving this guy any airtime? He hasn't been right in the 3 years he's been on fucking YouTube. He's great at what he does for TNA, but to sit down there and price predictions, he's been wrong his whole fucking life. But yet he'll get 100,000 people on here and he'll charge you fucking Bitcoin, and yet you guys will still put him on and give him airtime. Fucking stupid people. Anyways, enough of that. I talked enough about this the last 2 weeks. Anyways, if you ever want to learn what's going on, you start off with everybody's most recent video, look at the market, and then work your way backwards through the videos. And that's how you know who's fucking lying and who knows what they're talking about. So anyways, let's talk about this market. Go through a quick look at the top 100, the last 24 hours. Going back a little bit, we were at 180 last night. And again, our line of support is 167, 168. So if we crouch down another 5 to 170, it's not a big deal. We've bounced up to 180. So now what we watch for is to see was, and again, it's the overall cap that I watch, not the individual price, because the individual price doesn't mean shit until the day you want to sell it or the day that you want to buy it. So other than that, the price is completely irrelevant because the market is so small and it's in its infancy still. This is the only number that matters. All right. So your individual product for when you want to sell or buy, that's it. Other than that, this is the number to watch. So as we go through everything, we're seeing the last hour or so and the last 24 has not been very good for anybody. We don't need to go over the complete 7 days because everybody should be green. Let's see if there's anybody's had any double digits gains or slide backs in the last 1 hour to the last 24 plus. So I don't think we're going to see anything as we scroll down, and then we'll fly back up. KuCoin shares still caking it on the chin. Now, like I said, KuCoin shares, it was a buy box token last week. They got pumped up through the roof, and then they just got sold. And this week it started again with Maximine Coin. So I haven't. There it is right there, Maximine Coin, down on the hour. Huge. See, I don't know why it shows down on the week. It had a huge pump. If it was Monday or Tuesday, it was at 50, 60% again. So you got to watch for these things. Like the pump and dump groups are just rank. What else we got? That was it so far. Nobody else in the double digits. And that is it. Yeah, look at poor buy box token. Was just pumped up the other week, like we talked about it. And we were hoping it wasn't a pump because, like I said, buy box is pretty decent. And they were a top, 50, 60 coin for the longest time. Then they just got shit kicked, disappeared into the top 150-ish. Then they got pumped for a day. So now they're starting to get bounced back out. Okay, and then before we get out of here, let's see if anybody's leapfrogged anybody over the last couple of days. Bitcoin Cash taking out EOS. That's what I laugh about when some of these articles come out, and especially that one in China. And I even said, who's paying these people to write this? And EOS keeps coming out as the number one cryptocurrency in the market. And I've asked, and nobody's ever told me, but why? What are they doing? What's physical? Where is EOS being used anywhere on the planet right now other than in people's brains? Paper champion. So not too sure why you guys put your money into that. But again, it's like just like a lot of other people say, it doesn't matter how good this project is. The market is so infantile and so small still that even the worst piece of shit can still make more money than the best projects around. And that's very frustrating when you see over 1,800 businesses close in this space last year alone, and there's still so many pieces of shit. So right now we're sitting at 2,154 cryptocurrencies. And I will go out on a limb and I will say 2,000 of these are complete, utter pieces of shit that will never be used anywhere. And those other 154 will be used at some point. So still nice to see Litecoin still pushing. I'll be a very happy guy. Like I said, my big thing is I still want to see Bitcoin Cash completely suppressed and knocked right out of this fucking market. I'd still like to see Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, another fucking scam project, just like BCH's, and fucking knocked right off the board completely. I'd still like to see EOS completely knocked right off the board because to me it is just another money dupe. All that money in EOS should be taken right now, sold off, and put into Ethereum and back up the team over there. Because that's all you guys did is you guys ripped off Ethereum and tried to make it better, and you obviously have not. Who else is still doing good? Everyone else is actually staying pretty flat. We've seen Dash taking out IOTA and Monero and Maker in the last 2 weeks or so. Neo and Ontology keep fighting back and forth. Maker, Ethereum Classic actually snuck back in. It's had a really strong week, knocking Tezos. Tezos keeps floating back and forth in between like the 17 and 22 spot. And then everybody else is pretty much the same. So not much else than a complete fucking bitch out. I'm sorry, but you know what? I get tired of. I hate to say it, like when you're being right in the space, and not many people are. You look at some of the guys that were right once, and they'll say, "I called 20,000 Bitcoin on Twitter. I'm the only one." Okay, so there's three out of about 250,000 people were right, and those same three people that called it are all the ones still getting the attention, and their prices haven't been right. You got the price right once, but you haven't gotten it right ever again since, and that's my whole point. Is why everyone keeps watching people that have never been right? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, don't you want to be right at one time in your life and actually understand what's going on in this market? I guess not. But like I said, I'll keep coming and pumping it out, and hopefully we'll get a few more viewers and get some people actually asking questions rather than asking the same stupid thing over and over at when's Moon, when's Lambo. You know what? Fuck off. Go do some reading. Go understand what research is. Go understand what looking into a team is. Like, why would you invest into something without actually knowing who's running your company? Who's the company president? I don't know. Everyone on Reddit says they're good. Everybody on YouTube says it's good. 3 months later, fuck, how much did you invest? I'm broke. I got nothing left. My stack's 90% backwards. That's what you've been hearing because you keep listening to the same people. So until that changes and you start getting people over here, there's very few people I trust in this space. And honestly, the people that I really do trust aren't the guys on Twitter. They're not even on YouTube. They're the guys that everybody like those spend their money to go and listen to. So again, if you're listening to the YouTubers and the Twitters and the Reddits, you're just going to get wrecked again. So that's all the advice I can possibly give somebody is be safe out there. Spend a few minutes. If you could spend a half an hour on Facebook every fucking day, why can't you spend a half an hour and go and looking into a project that you've worked 80 hours the last 2 weeks for in order to buy into? Rather than spending 10 minutes and searching on Google YouTubers and trying to find, like, you really think it works like that? It doesn't. So if you're going to keep getting wrecked, keep watching what you're watching. And if you want to learn something and actually start building your portfolio, like I have in free money and getting 28, 27, 28% in a week, where else are you going to do that? Is your mutual fund doing that? No. Is your RSP doing that for you? No. Is the guy on YouTube following you giving you 20% gains in a week? No. So after 7 consecutive weeks of doing this, I've had 7 consecutive positive weeks. My worst week was 1.65%, which is an average week in a normal world. And my 4 weeks at 5 and 6%, and 1 week at 28%. So not bad. I'll take it. So that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry for bitching and ranting, but you know what? People need to hear it. You need to be told because you're just acting stupid. The new people in space are just as dumb, if not even worse, than the people we had in the space earlier in 2018, January, February, getting fucking wrecked. So what we're going to see here is another thing that we saw last year is everyone's going to talk the game all the way through April and May, pretending everything's deadly. And with the next consensus coming up and the whole bit like that. And then they're going to get kicked in the balls all of June. And for about 3 weeks in July, they're going to get kicked in the balls some more. And then they're going to come back and whine just like they did last year. And then in about the third week of July, for about 2, maybe 3 days, we're going to see that spike, just like I called it last year when Bitcoin was dying at 6 and 5,500. I was the only person that came out into the Data Dash group and said, fuck you guys, thinking Bitcoin's going to drop to 1,300. Third week of July, Bitcoin's going to hit $9,000. And like I said in my earlier videos, that was the only time I was ever wrong. But that's when Bitcoin went from its 6,000 to 55 slide, and it crawled all the way up to 8,800 within 2 days, and then it crashed again. But I called that 3 months before it happened. 3 fucking months is when I do my price predictions for. Where all of these other clowns can't even get it right from day to day. I was calling the price of Bitcoin 3 months in advance within dollars. 3 months in advance. And I was off by $200, so I called a 9K even, and it went up to 8,800. And for me, that's being wrong. Whereas everybody else is calling it for 3,000, 2,000, 1,350, 750, and I'm calling for a 9K as the only guy on this planet that did and got it right. But yet you still go and listen to all of those guys. And it's not hard to do. And I don't charge anybody money. I don't ask you to join my classes. I don't ask you to donate. I have no ads. I am not monetized on any of my channels. So anyways, I cried for too long about this. This is me talking to myself anyway. So anyways, this is 88 Fantastic showing you how to take a bite out of the cryptocurrency market. Take care, y'all.